So guys, we're going to start learning about writing poetry. And I'm going to be honest, writing poetry is kind of hard if it's not your thing. And I have to tell you, I'm not the best poet. But the point of this unit is to just try something new, try something different. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be just like mine or just like the poems we read. Those are just to give you some ideas. So today you should have read Wide Awake, Sure, and Blowing Bubbles. And all three of those poems, or listen to me read them online, were about a small little moment of something somebody did, but they took a poet's eye and they wrote about it in a way that described it to where when you read it, you could think about it in your head and it made you see it in your mind. They didn't just say, I stuck my wand in the bubbles and blew, right? They're like giving you big descriptions of what it was like, that the bubbles were rainbow colored and fat. It was using lots of adjectives and descriptions so you could see it and made it kind of come to life. So you're going to pick something today. The one small moment is something you do, like blowing bubbles or waking up in the morning or going to the beach. I decided to pick going to bed. And you're going to think about a way to make it sound really cool. Use interesting words to make it sound like a really cool experience to go to bed. Even though it's just a small little thing everybody does every day, use descriptive words that makes it seem cool. If you have trouble coming up with ideas, start by on your paper just writing what you're going to write about, like going to bed. And think of some things you can think of about going to bed, right? So like I put on my PJs, but that's fun way for saying pajamas. I get under the sheets, under sheets. What else? When I'm thinking about going to bed. Ooh, I start by putting my feet in. You put your feet in first. I'm thinking of all those things that I can maybe describe in a fun way, you know what I mean? You close your eyes. Oh. And let me think, what else? Oh, and then you just rest. You rest. You go to sleep. You go to sleep, right? You rest, sleep, whatever you want to say, okay? And then after you get some ideas in your head, you're just going to start with the first sentence and then go from there. So I'm thinking, what do I do when I first go to bed? I put on my PJs. So let's put on my comfy PJs. That's the first line of my poem. I should have used a different color. Sorry, guys. Put on my comfy PJs. Then what do I do next? If I got my PJs on, then I pull back the sheets. But I want to say it in a poet's way. I don't want to just say, I get under the covers. I want to say, and pull down my cool. Now I want to show you something here. Sheet. Pull down my cool sheet. Because I don't know if you guys ever noticed, but when you go to bed at night and you get under your sheet's always kind of cold. It's kind of a neat feeling because sometimes I'm really hot by the end of the day and I get in and I'm like, ooh, my bed feels cold. But other days, if it's really cold outside, I get in and I'm like, ooh, the sheet is cold. Don't worry about that, Lens. All right, pull down my cool sheet. Now, this word sheet, I made it red because one of the things poets like to try to do is make every other line or like kind of rhyme. So I use the word sheet instead of cover because I don't really know a lot of words that rhyme with cover, but I can think of a lot of words that rhyme with sheet. In fact, I use sheet because up here I noticed sheet and feet rhyme. So I know I could use those together. I was looking ahead. So when you're thinking of what word to end your second line with, think of a word you can rhyme with pretty easy. So I could have said and pull down my cool covers, but I don't really know how to rhyme with that, so I chose sheet. All right, so I put on my comfy PJs and I pull down my cool sheet. Ooh, what do I want to write next? I pull down my cool sheet. And then what do I do next? Well, and, ooh, let me think. Jump, or I could say slide, but I'm going to say jump right in. This is the part where I'm going to bring in sheet, okay? Starting with my wiggly. Notice I'm using some interesting words that bring images to your mind, like wiggly. Wiggly, you know what I'm going to write, don't you? Feet, because I want it to rhyme. I want it to rhyme. I'm hoping these markers are not going through, by the way. Oh, they're not. Okay. Put on my comfy PJs and pull down my cool sheet and jump right in, starting with my wiggly feet. Now, the reason I wrote starting with my wiggly feet is because I knew I wanted to end this line with feet. So I had to think of what sentence could I say that would end with feet. And again, if you can't get it to rhyme, don't make it rhyme. Do the best you can. Just describe your thing. It's not, I'm just giving you ideas. It doesn't have to be just like mine. If you just want to put on my comfy PJs, get under the covers, jump right in, get snug, that's fine. A poem could be any way you want. I'm just giving you some ideas. All right, so I put on my PJs, I pulled down my sheet, I've jumped right in, started with my feet. Now what do you do after you're in the bed? Oh yeah, you close your eyes. So I'm going to put close my eyes and start to rest. Or you could have used sleep, whatever you want to do, because I did say sleep up there. Ooh, I might use, I got an idea. I'm going to put sleep. So I'm going to cross that out. Start to sleep. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this, but somebody taught me this one time. Sleep. What word rhymes with sleep? Sleep. Sheep. Have you ever heard that? Has anybody ever told you that people count sheep to help them fall asleep? And start to sleep as I count fluffy. See, I'm using a word to describe again. Sheep. It's an old saying, guys. Your parents might have to explain that one to you. I should make these red. Sorry, these are the rhyming words again. Sleep. Sheep. So you can see them. See those rhyming words? And so now I've taken a normal, ordinary thing, guys, like going to bed, and I've told it through a poet's eye. And what's the difference in telling it in a poet's eye and in a regular way? Because you make it a little more interesting. You add rhyming words. You add interesting words like comfy, and where's another one? Jump right in, instead of just say get in the bed. Wiggly, right? Fluffy. We add some descriptions that are not just, I got to put my PJs on and I went to bed. It's put on my comfy PJs and pull down my cool sheet and jump right in, starting with my wiggly feet. Close my eyes and start to sleep as I count fluffy sheep. And if you write it with those rhyming words and you write it in the little short phrases, notice that a poem is not long sentences, it's short phrases. If you write in those short phrases, it should almost sound almost like a rhythm to it, a beat to it, like a song, see? You could almost make a song out of it. Put on my comfy PJs and pull down my cool sheet and jump right in, starting with my wiggly feet. Close my eyes and I start to sleep as I count fluffy sheep. See, it's got a little bit of a rhythm to it if you do it right. Now, again, if you have a hard time with this today, that's okay. Poems aren't everybody's thing. If you have a hard time making it rhyme, that's okay. Don't make it rhyme. All I want your goal today to be is to come up with one little thing and use words to make it interesting. Something that's a normal everyday activity you do, and make it sound really cool in some way. All right? Do the very best you can. I look forward to seeing what you do. Bye.